Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. The international break has come at a good time for Darwin Nunez, who is delighted to get away from his struggles at Liverpool to play for Uruguay. Liverpool have endured a miserable period with their exit from the Champions League at the hands of Paris Saint-Germain, followed by the Carabao Cup final defeat by Newcastle on Sunday. Nunez played only a minor role in both games, coming off the substitutes bench, but without making an impact. Nunez has contributed 7 goals in 41 appearances across all competitions for Liverpool this season. He has struggled for consistency under Arneslot, who has been reluctant to start him regularly, and there have been rumours that he could be sold in the summer transfer window. The 25-year-old forward is therefore more than happy to be whisked away to play for his country, who face Argentina and Bolivia in World Cup qualifiers. After touching down at Carrasco International Airport in Uruguay, Nunez spoke to the local media, where he lamented the fact the ball doesn't want to go in. To forget a little about what's happening there. And besides, there's nothing more beautiful for a player than wearing your country's jersey, he told El Pais of his motivation for the matches. I'm happy thinking about the national team, enjoying every minute with it. These are moments that one goes through in football, and as I said recently, I'm not someone who throws in the towel because they don't play, but rather I'm going to keep working so I can play. I know I'm not performing as well as I should. It's difficult because when you're doing well, like when I came on against PSG, your confidence changes, with the idea of being able to break it in the next match. But then you get a slump, and I'm always there to help my teammates when I come back to the national team. Nunez's crucial penalty miss in the shootout against PSG last week summed up his recent difficulties with Liverpool. Slot has preferred to play Diogo Jota as his side's central striker, with Nunez only starting 8 Premier League games this season. The Dutchman was critical of Nunez's unacceptable work rate after games against Wolves and Aston Villa, but claimed he was back to being the normal Darwin after he set up Harvey-Elliott's goal in the first leg against PSG. Nunez will hope he can perform well for Marcelo Bielsa and Uruguay in the coming days before returning to Merseyside. Liverpool are 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League and will have to get themselves ready for the Merseyside derby against Everton on April 2nd, before a difficult trip to face Fulham at Craven Cottage 4 days later. Liverpool's Curtis Jones has provided clarity on comments he made during pre-season regarding life at Liverpool under Arne Slot, as opposed to Jurgen Klopp. The young midfielder turned heads when he revealed he was the happiest he's been at the club. Jones also made remarks on the team's tactics, noting they seemed less hurried in their approach to attacking under Slot. This led some to interpret those comments as veiled jabs at Klopp. However, the German gave the academy graduate his debut back in January 2019, and was known to have a healthy relationship with Jones, who has now explained his stance. "It definitely wasn't a dig at Jurgen," Jones said to The Athletic. "I owe him so much. Jurgen changed me from a boy to a man. There were times when I thought I'd need a loan spell to get more game time, but he kept me around the team." At the time, the 24-year-old claimed that Slot's possession-based style suited his game. "He's amazing," Jones had told reporters during a press conference ahead of this season. "It's probably the happiest I've been in terms of a style of play that suits me. It's a clear plan in training and he's fully involved, coaching us a lot." Jones has since elaborated on the interview. "Jurgen made me understand the game a lot more from being a kid at the academy who was scoring and assisting all the time and didn't really have to run," he added. "I could do whatever I wanted." The next step was to keep that ability, but change stuff like passing the ball even more and the work off the ball. "I wasn't always the best kid, but I wasn't arrogant or cocky. I just wanted the best for myself. He was the man who made me understand so much." Jones played his 37th game of the season on Sunday, as Slot's team lost in the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle United. While the midfielder also missed a penalty in the Champions League last 16 shootout with PSG last week, it's been comfortably his finest season since breaking into Liverpool's first team. Jones also earned praise for his candid response following Liverpool's European Cup disappointment. "Stepping up and trying to help the team in every moment I can is the type of person that I am," he said on Instagram post-match. "This comes with risk and failing. Last night I got a taste of that, I can live with missing, but I can't live without taking the responsibility. His performances this season have now earned him a spot in Thomas Tuchel's 26-man England squad for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Albania and Latvia. I'm buzzing, Jones told The Athletic. To get called up shows how well you're doing for your club. Newcastle are bracing for a torrent of interest in their star striker Alexander Isak this summer after he guided them to their first trophy in 70 years on Sunday. Isak was influential in Newcastle's Carabao Cup triumph as he scored 3 times in the competition, including against Arsenal in the semi-finals and the second goal against Liverpool in the final. The Swedish star now has 23 goals in all competitions for the Magpies, 2 away from his total tally for last season and a trophy to boot. He could now be ready for a new challenge with the likes of Arsenal, linked with a move for the 25-year-old. Newcastle will fight tooth and nail to keep their star man and should demand an eye-watering fee for a player who still has more than 3 years left to run on his contract at St James's Park. The obvious destination for Isak, a move to the Emirates, has been widely mooted by fans and pundits given Arsenal's clear lack of a recognised number 9, and Isak would more than fit the bill. Isak has scored against Arsenal twice this season, once in a 1-0 win at St James's Park and again in a 2-0 win at the Emirates, both games pointing out the team's glaring lack of attacking options. There were murmurs Arsenal could have moved for Isak in January, but a transfer never materialised, with Eddie Howe insisting there was no chance he would leave for any club. Arsenal's need for a new striker has only been made more obvious after an injury crisis ruled out Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus for the season, while Bukayo Saka has also been out for a lengthy spell. There's no doubt Isak would take Arsenal to the next level after being left 15 points behind league leaders Liverpool in the title race. The team's major sticking point this season has been their lack of a reliable hitman up front, and Isak can deliver that. If Liverpool were to enter the race for Isak, Arsenal would really be in trouble. The Reds look nailed on to win the Premier League and could look to swoop for Isak, particularly if they were to offload a handful of players this summer. Mohamed Salah looks likely to depart on a free transfer, while there have been reports Darwin Nunez could be sold, which could open up space for a new attacker amid claims the club are ready to tempt Newcastle with an offer. Liverpool already have the likes of Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota, but neither have been prolific for the club, and they will need to find someone who can replace the glut of goals Salah offered. Club legend Jamie Carragher has already dismissed the idea that Arsenal would be favourites in the race for Isak and talked up Liverpool as a possible destination. "I don't really get all the talk about going to Arsenal," Carragher said on the It's Called Soccer podcast. "I know Arsenal would love him, but one thing I would say as well, Arsenal aren't the only team that need a centre-forward. Liverpool need one as well. I think in the summer, Liverpool will be in the market for a centre-forward. So I think if he was available, there's no doubt Arsenal would go for him, but I think Liverpool would be part of that queue as well. Isak's recent displays are good enough for any club in the world at present, and Real Madrid really would be the pinnacle for him." The Sweden international already has experience playing in La Liga after spending 4 seasons with Real Sociedad, where he netted 44 times in 132 appearances. That included one season where he scored 17 La Liga goals in 34 outings, and Madrid will know he can deliver at the highest level, especially after watching him blitz 48 goals in the last 2 seasons in England. Newcastle are currently 6th in the Premier League table, but are just 1 point off Manchester City in 5th and 2 points off Chelsea in 3rd. A strong end to the season could see them deliver Champions League football that Isak craves. And should he stay, Newcastle will only get better and put themselves in the running for even more success.